Alright, what's going on, guys? Back with another breakdown for UFC Vegas 36. Co-main event here at middleweight, we got Kevin Holland taking on Kyle Daukaus. Kevin Holland going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, usually does have a reach advantage. And so I will start with Kyle Daukaus. So Kyle Daukaus, younger brother of Chris Daukaus, who is just continuing to do great things. He got another knockout, looked awesome. That was an awesome fight. Um, but yeah, Daukaus, the older Daukaus, just got a fight announced. He's going to be taking on Derek Lewis in the main event. Very happy for him because these guys are Philly guys. I live in Philly. And yeah, Kyle Daukaus actually got to the UFC first. Takes on Brendan Allen, short notice. Looks pretty good in that fight. He, especially late, he kind of bounces back, has a good third round. Then he gets the win over Dustin Stoltzfus. He was expected to do that. Looked good. And he fights Phil Hawes, and that was unfortunate. I had Daukaus in that one, but I gotta say, Phil Hawes just looked excellent. He looked much improved everywhere, and he was just putting stamps on rounds. It was an entertaining fight, back and forth, and I know a lot of people were on Daukaus in that one, including me, and some people were disappointed. I don't think he can be though. I think Kyle Daukaus has just been getting some tough matchups. I think he's solid, but you got to give it to Phil Hawes in that one. Looked good. But Kyle Daukaus, big for the division, likes to pressure. He likes to clinch. He's good in the clinch. Looks for body lock takedowns. Very good submission game. And he's got a very similar striking base to his brother. One thing I will say is not as lethal at middleweight as it is for Chris at heavyweight. But he's got a lot of the same things that there is to like about Chris Daukaus' striking, which there is a lot. You can tell they have the same coach. But yeah, Kyle Daukaus, very straight punches. You like to see that. He's got a good chin. He could use a little better head movement, but yeah, he's got a good chin and he's got accurate punches. It's a good combination to have. I think that he will keep coming even if he's going to get hit. I think he'll keep the pressure up. But yeah, Kyle Daukaus pretty well rounded. He's yet to really leap off the page anywhere in the UFC, but I definitely think that he is better than his record shows at this point. Win-loss record really has to be analyzed carefully every time in MMA, and I think for Kyle Daukaus, he is definitely good. Just been getting some tough competition right out of the gate. And then for Kevin Holland, this is a big spot for him. So after an excellent 2020 Fighter of the Year, just fighting all the time, took advantage of COVID, really blew up his career, lots of finishes, and kind of started to market himself really well with talking during fights and shit. And it was great to see. He, again, like I said, he really stole the show in 2020. So it was good to see him going out there, securing the bag, and just looking great doing it, looking very entertaining. But then he runs into the grapplers, gets grapple fucked by Derek Brunson, and then the hole was exposed. Marvin Vettori exploited it. I didn't expect Vettori to exploit it as well as he did, but in hindsight, Vettori is a guy who just kind of looks to break his opponents one way or the other, be it pressure or especially wrestling pressure. And he was able to implement his game plan there. But in that one, Kevin Holland looked like he took it more seriously, and I definitely think he won the first round. He wasn't afraid to trade, let the hands go, let the kicks go after getting taken down, which is good to see because sometimes you get guys they realize they got to focus on something, particularly grappling, and it's like, okay, well, I can't get taken down, so I got to be careful. And then they kind of lay off what makes them good. Uh, you see that with these kickboxers sometimes. So I think it's good to see that coming off the grapple fucking against Brunson, he comes out and he's not afraid to trade Vettori, but Vettori was eventually to get inside, and he just kind of broke him with that wrestling pressure. And then once he had that definitive second round where he was just ground and pounding him, that was kind of it for Kevin Holland. He just didn't. He was just broken. It seemed, and Holland has definitely been working on the grappling. He's been kind of quiet, which is again just all good stuff to see. It seems like he realizes where he needs to work, and he's been doing it. He's been training with Johnny Hendricks, and I think Hendricks will be in his corner, but yeah, Kevin Holland realized he has to work on the takedown defense and the get-ups. He is a BJJ black belt, so he's not completely lost on the ground. But yeah, coming off these wrestle fuckings, That's the big storyline going into this fight. It's how is Holland going to bounce back? And he's got a tough opponent. It's going to be a tricky fight. I see why this line is what it is. But when Kevin Holland's at his best, one of the best rangy strikers in the division, and at minus 158, I do like Kevin Holland in this one. Don't like betting against the Philly guys. So for me personally, I'm probably not going to bet a lot. But if I was going to bet with my brain, I do think you got to go with Kevin Holland. Like I said, I see why it's tricky. Kyle Daukaus definitely has some tools that are going to be tricky for Holland. He's going to be able to threaten the takedown from the body lock position up against the clinch. The one that Holland has been taken down by a couple times in his last couple fights. But I don't think Kyle Daukaus is going to be able to hold Holland down the same way that Brunson, who is one of the best wrestlers in the UFC, or Vettori, who is a good wrestler in his own right. He's big. He's tough to get up from. I don't think that necessarily translates to Kevin Holland is going to get grapple fucked by Kyle Daukaus, especially with how much work Kevin Holland's been putting in. And like I was saying earlier, I like to see that coming off the Brunson fight, Holland wasn't afraid to go to his main weapons, what makes him good. So if that holds up, if Holland comes out and he isn't like gun shy, he's not too worried about the takedown to the point where it takes away from his strengths, and he does have that takedown and get up ability improved over these last few months, I think it's hard not to like Kevin Holland. And usually Kevin Holland gets the knockout, but at this line for the circumstances, I think Kevin Holland money line is just the safest play. Not really looking to play a method in this one because they're a little tricky. I do think that the fight is going to go to decision though, which you might be able to get good odds on. I don't even look at it. But yeah, you get pretty good odds on that. Will the fight go to decision at minus 128? Because I do think that Kevin Holland is going to at least be somewhat measured in this one to the point where I do think he will win on the feet, just more volume. He's got to watch the return fire from Daukaus because he definitely has very good, accurate punches. And I do think Kyle Daukaus is good. He's just getting screwed again on the matchmaking. He's got another tough fight. So if Kyle Daukaus goes to 1-3 in the UFC, that's what it would be, right? Then he's got losses to a much improved Phil Hawes and Kevin Holland, and then a debut loss to Brendan Allen. That's tough sledding right there. So I'm definitely high on Kyle Daukaus, not just biased, but it's hard not to like Kevin Holland in this spot. I think the money line's valuable, but if I were gonna have to gun to my head with the method prop, Kevin Holland by points at plus 250 isn't bad. Like I could see that in my last video, maybe Jared Gordon by points, Kevin Holland by points, and then maybe one other leg in there, put like 5 on it, get like 100. One of those types of parlays. I'd like to make those, but yeah, I think Kevin Holland money line is the safe play. I think it's pretty good value, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Share, subscribe, and take it easy.